good afternoon. My name is Jill, and I am with the Rito Hall Foundation. I am so lucky to work on the Ingenious Plus team and really happy to be here with all of you today for our Ingenious Plus virtual office hours. This is the first time we're doing this. We have had such an incredible engagement from all of you who are interested in the Ingenious Plus Award and who want to know more about how we can get a great application in and stand out from the rest, and get your chance at being an Ingenious Plus winner, receiving up to $10,000, receiving all kinds of mentorship and networking from Canada's top innovators. It's all really exciting, and we're so glad to be able to help guide you in any way that we can towards being a successful candidate. So I am so lucky to be joined by three experts who can actually tell you the right things to do, because I'm just here as a fan. So I'm going to bring them in. We are so lucky today to have with us Yuri Kin, Casper Dong, and Kendra Osa. Hey guys. You guys got to take yourselves off mute because I'm going to have a lot of questions for you.
Yeah, no problem.
Amazing. Hello. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. Yeah.
Good.
Good. Nice to see you guys. I was with you guys when last May for the Ingenious Plus Awards. It seems like so long ago, and also maybe like yesterday. Hard to say. But we have our three Ingenious Plus experts here who have been through the application process very successfully, I might add, and can answer any questions that you have. So we're here in the StreamYard platform. If you look to the right of your screen, you will see there is an icon for a private chat. If you have questions, you can enter those questions into the chat. And if you would like to hop in and join us on screen, please do. This is very much like a hang. So just let me know that you'd like to appear on camera. I'm happy to bring you in, and you can come to this panel of very fine innovators to get the inside scoop on what it's like to apply for Ingenious Plus. So I'm going to start by introducing you. So I'm going to start with Yuri, and Kendra and Casper, I'll bring you in a second. So Yuri, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your Ingenious Plus journey?
Sure. Hi, I'm Yuri. I'm 17 years old, and I am from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. So I was very lucky and very fortunate enough that last year I was a national winner for this competition. And my invention was a underwater search and rescue robot that used artificial intelligence for search and rescue missions. Yeah.
That's amazing. And your search and rescue robot, what category did you apply for Ingenious Plus?
I applied under the environmental category, environments and climate change. And I was able to win that, and very fortunate to be able to do so.
Wicked. Thank you so much, Yuri. Okay, let's go to Casper. Hey, Casper.
Hello.
Tell us about your Ingenious Plus journey.
So I'm originally from Winnipeg, Manitoba. Hello to anyone over there. And my project had to do with an alternative to de-icers, which use wood chips coated in chemicals, which could be a better way to hopefully get like chemicals out of our water streams.
Amazing. And I mean, I think you know a lot about de-icing being in Winnipeg. Yeah, it's a clause very close to home.
They call it winter peg, yeah.
Yes, we've been having winter peg kind of across Canada this winter, so we're very happy to have solutions to help us get around a little bit easier. That's great. Thanks so much, Casper. All right, let's go to Kendra. Hey, Kendra.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Jill?
I'm so good. Tell us about you, Kendra. What is your Ingenious Plus journey?
For sure. Hi, my name is Kendra Nankausa. I'm calling from the Niagara region, and I am 19 years old. I was fortunate enough to be a Ingenious Plus national winner last year in the health and well-being category for my innovation, portable and personalized air monitor. Yes, that's about it.
That's lots. That sounds great. So Kendra, what can you tell us that you've been up to? So I was saying we saw each other in May for the award ceremony. What have you been up to since? What has been the next step of your journey with your project?
For sure. I'm currently studying engineering at the McMaster University. And in there, I am in a health innovation program. That's where they help us with the development. So I'm currently working on the prototype, the technical side, but they're helping me with more the business side because I do not have much knowledge in that, but they have been really helpful with helping patents, IP, pitches, and all of that. So it's been really helpful to further my innovation.
That sounds so great and amazing to be like in that kind of higher learning academic environment now too, right? Are you
Yeah,
meeting
it's
people who are kind of like-minded and working on their own projects?
yes, there's so many. I'm in the cohort with so many different projects, and sometimes they're they're so medical that I'm like, oh my god. But it's really cool to work with these people because they have more experience in pitching, in the marketing side, in the financial side, and it's been really good to learn from them.
That's awesome. They always say you should never be the smartest person in the room. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. So it's nice to be around other people that are kind of making you raise your game a little bit.
Yeah, that's a really cool saying.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, Casper, what about you? Have you been what are you doing now that's moving your journey forward?
Yeah, so Ingenious did help me work with stuff that could like give me the opportunity to work on a patent, which is pretty cool. It's given me plenty of support as well. Currently, I'm just looking towards working on that patent and making sure that I can help make the technology better. Yeah.
Amazing. That's so great. And have you collaborated or like worked with other people, new people that you've met through either Ingenious Plus or school? Are you trying not to be the smartest person in the room?
I'm definitely trying not to be, yeah. But Yuri, for example, who's one of the panelists today, they're also working on a patent. So they've actually helped me out with resources and I've gotten to talk with them about it. Yeah.
Yuri, that's amazing.
I know, right? Well, thank you to Casper. I had to know some resources too from him. So it's been really nice to have this sort of community with Ingenious and being able to work with each other.
Oh, you guys, that's so cool. I definitely know anytime I'm in a room with Yuri, I know I'm not the smartest person in the room. So I'm
That's
like,
awesome.
thank goodness. That's awesome. So Yuri, tell us a little bit more about where your innovation journey is taking you.
Yeah, for sure. So, like Casper and like Kendra, Ingenious taught me a lot. Like I've been able to use the opportunities, as well as some of the funding from Ingenious, and I've been able to scale my project a lot. Really, I was able to create 2 more prototypes for my robot, and they've been improved significantly. Thank you to Ingenious. And like Casper said, I'm on the side working on a provisional patent right now, and so far it's going great.
That's so great. I'm so happy to hear that. Something I loved when we were all together for the Ingenious Plus ceremony is that we had all the parents there, and all the parents were kind of, I mean, I don't want to say complaining, but kind of commiserating about how their garages were filled with prototypes and materials and all the things that come along, especially when you're building something like a robot. I bet you go through a lot of materials that get stored in your parents' garage or
My
basement.
whole room is my lab, so it's really messy, like off camera. So like, but
That's
it
okay. As
is.
long as
Yeah,
you have one, you just need one angle that's organized, and then the rest can be.
it's just the only angle that works.
That's awesome. So, Yuri, do you remember when you were applying for Ingenious Plus and kind of trying to get your head around your application? Can you tell us a little bit about what that was like?
Oh, in the beginning, to me, it did seem a little bit daunting. Looking at all the questions and thinking that I had to know everything to be able to get the application started and done. That's not necessarily true. All you have to do is sit down, break it down, and you realize it's not necessarily too hard. You don't have to know everything about your project. For example, for me, after Ingenious, that's when I was able to create those other 2 prototypes that were really, really solid. During Ingenious, I didn't really know everything. I just kind of made educational guesses and I did my best. And that's all you have to do. Break it down and do your best.
That's so true. And we accept applications for projects that are like at all stages of development. This does not have to be like a fully baked cookie. It can be a little soft in the middle. And when it's a little soft in the middle, it kind of gives you an opportunity to like learn and stretch and grow. And so, yeah, no pressure to feel like, as you say, like you have all the answers. That's really, really good advice. I'm going to ask Kendra the same question. Kendra, do you remember what your feelings around your application was?
Yeah, for sure. It's similar to Yuri. There were like there was the written one, but also the video. It could seem daunting. It was kind of daunting to me, but honestly, even during the application itself, I was able to learn more about my own project because it got me thinking of certain things that maybe I didn't notice before. And it actually helped me get a better grasp of my own innovation. And I think that helped me, as well as I did both the written and the video. Kind of shows because I want to put extra effort into the application. And I think in some ways that did help with winning the national award.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And Casper, did you do a video application, written application? Yeah.
So I did kind of both. I submitted my written application, and then
Mhm.
as like a follow-up, I submitted like a video application as well. And your video application doesn't have to be super complicated. Mine, I know I did the written one and then like 1 minute on video because I was kind of like nervous to be on camera. But otherwise, you don't have to like, make it like cinema or anything.
Absolutely not. I mean, we have had some applicants who really have done an incredible job of making it super fun and creative, but it absolutely doesn't have to be a head and shoulders,
Yeah.
just kind of straightforward delivery is totally great. And something we really notice about the video applications too is how your passion really comes across. Because in your written application, it's kind of very methodical and one step after the other. But when we see the smiles that you have, when we see the energy and the passion that you're bringing to your applications, it definitely, as Kendra was saying, like just kind of brings it to life a little bit, and it makes us see how interested and excited you are. That's so great. So I just want to remind everybody that you can send us questions into the chat, and we're very happy to go to our panel of experts and have them give you some advice. Also, if you're joining us on YouTube after this session has gone live, you can write us some comments with questions, and we will definitely do our best to get back to you to help you make your application come alive and jump straight off the page as well. It's not always easy, especially when you're kind of in the middle of this journey that you're on, innovating with your project. Let's talk about some of maybe the challenges that you had in the development of your project. Kendra, do you want to speak to some challenges that you had, either with, it doesn't have to be about the application process, but just kind of like in your journey so far, what are some maybe hurdles you've come up against?
For sure. I think just like you said, and like what everyone experiences, it can be a very hectic time. You want to build something, you want to make start your innovation, but then you also have school, you have other extracurriculars, you have other things in your life. That's probably a challenge that we all face, including myself. But I think, again, if you want to apply it to Ingenious, it doesn't have to be a finished like thing. You can just have an idea and you can work towards it little by little every day. It doesn't have to be something concrete yet. I know mine was not concrete. It was very much an idea, an unfinished prototype. It was very much here and there, but you can still apply. Don't let these challenges stop you from applying, because you never know. Again,
absolutely, that's really great advice. And we work with some of Canada's truly top innovators. We also are the managing partner of something called the Governor General's Innovation Awards, which is sort of like the senior version of Ingenious Plus. And these are innovators who are, career researchers and scientists and, social innovators as well. And they will tell you that even 25 years into your career, you still have unfinished prototypes everywhere. And you're still kind of learning that every failure is a step towards success. And the journey, I've never heard anybody say that the journey is linear. Everybody says that it's all full of twists and turns and do-overs and starting again and having a product that doesn't look anything the way that you thought it would at the beginning. Casper, what are some of the kind of twists and turns that you've come across in your journey?
So my project, it came out of a program which wasn't Ingenious, and it didn't even do that well. I was like really surprised. I was like, oh my gosh, it's a complete failure. I cast off the project, and I was like, I'm probably not going to touch this. But then over time, I started picking it up and working on it again, and Ingenious came up, and I was like really ready to give it like a second shot. And that ended up being a great decision for me. So if anyone has like a project that they're like, I'm not sure, I'm kind of on the edge if I want to submit it or not, go for it. It's completely a great idea, and it doesn't hurt to try.
Absolutely. Yes. Nothing to lose, truly. And if anything, like we were saying, like every step, even if it's not a success, is a step in the right direction, just making the step at all. You can all go to ingeniousplus.ca to learn more about the prize, to learn more about the application process, and also to read more about other Ingenious Plus winners, their projects, because they can really, I'm always surprised. There's never a year that I haven't been surprised to think, I wonder how someone thought of that. Like, what a great solution to a problem that I may not have already thought of. But like Yuri, you have come up with a search and rescue robot, which, I mean, of course, I mean, not all of us are sitting around thinking about search and rescue robots. Can you tell us a little bit about your inspiration?
Yeah, so I find that inspiration sometimes comes from sources that you don't really think you would get like an idea from. So my inspiration came from a history project I had way back last year, September. And the history project was to look at current events, look at some of the problems in the world. And one of the biggest problems in the world at that time was hurricanes, typhoons, etc. And doing that research, I realized how inefficient the search and rescue methods were. Like they relied heavily on human labor. And that idea kind of got me thinking, right? We have so much technology today. Why don't we blend that into some more traditional methods of search and rescue? And that's why I made a search and rescue robot. So that's how I came up with my idea.
Yeah. So just kind of like looking at the world around you, seeing what can be made better. And that is such like the ethos, I think, of Ingenious Plus is like we hear this word innovation tossed around a lot. You see it everywhere, but it doesn't necessarily have like a defined meaning, or the meaning can change across the board. But for us at Ingenious Plus, innovation just means doing something better, improving upon a service, a product, or a process, starting from scratch and starting something completely new that just kind of looks out at your community, at your country, at the world, and thinks, how can I make things a little bit better for people? How can I make things a little bit easier, a little bit more innovative, a little bit more streamlined? And there is just absolutely no shortage of creativity that has come from our 3 years, our 3 cohorts of Ingenious Plus winners. So again, if you, as Casper says, if you are considering getting involved with Ingenious Plus, we would love to hear from you. We have a question from Gersaz, who's joining us here on the stream. And they're asking, how would a scientific or more theoretical application perform that doesn't have a well-defined product? So we have like a theory, an idea, but we don't have a well-defined product yet. Does anybody want to speak to that about kind of coming in at the theoretical phase before the final product phase has come in? Casper?
Yeah. If you kind of like stress why you're innovating on something or how it helps out your community, or if you really talk about like the impact that it has, I believe that it can really help you a lot. My project I know was a bit more technical, and it had like a lot of chemicals and a lot of fancy words. So it was kind of hard to like condense and bring down. But if you can explain why it would be significant or like possible uses for your project, I think it could still turn out pretty well.
Yeah, that's incredible advice. As we said, we don't have to be a fully baked cookie. I'm sorry I came up with the cookie thing. That's maybe not not resonating with everybody, but to say that, as you say, the potential that you see for this problem solving is really what's most important, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Gersaz, for that question. That was really awesome. We have so many of our innovators from the Ingenious Plus ecosystem who are not just in the science, technology, engineering, and math stream, but we have lots of social innovators as well, because innovation, yes, can be very technical and very scientific, but it's also very compassionate. It's very social. It can be community related, healthcare related. We have one of our national winners, Yasmin, who came up with an app called Calmos, which is to help young people who are dealing with feelings of anxiety and stress and looking for some mental health supports. We have Natalie from Newfoundland, who has come up with an engineering project that helps to adapt toys for children with developmental delays. And so the compassion, I think, is kind of just like this common thread that has been running through all of our projects that we see. Everything is aiming to help somebody. Same with Elijah Cosby, who has come up, who started with the idea that he was coming up with a visual aid for people with visual impairments that was going to be a wearable object. And Elijah, through the Ingenious Plus network, has now developed that to know that instead of a wearable device, he's using existing technology in phones and iPads and computers to help people with vision impairment to kind of detect the world around them and be more independent and more confident. So we see that you guys are just so compassionate and so willing to make the world a better place through innovation. And as we like to say all the time, you're innovating for good, which I think is something that's really needed in the world right now. It can be easy to think that things are getting a little complicated and heavy and stressful, but as long as we have young innovators in Canada, I think we're going to be just fine. So let's talk now about some successes, or maybe even some surprises. So let's start with Yuri. Yuri, can you tell me maybe about places that you found the most support, or maybe somewhere surprising that you turned to that has been an integral part of your innovation journey?
Yeah, for sure. So I think there's a common misconception when it comes to innovating, especially as a teenager, that you need a laboratory, you need all mentorship or anything to start. You don't. For me, I grew up in a place that doesn't really have a really strong scientific or engineering background.
Mhm.
So I looked and I turned to the internet for a lot of support. For example, I went on YouTube or I read books from the library just to learn how to build Arduinos, circuits, etc. So, for example, this is my room, this is my laboratory. You don't need fancy equipment. You don't need a PhD level of a degree, for example. All you need is passion and an idea, and you can get started. And afterwards, after Ingenious, you can get all the support. There's a lot of programs that help you, and Ingenious is one of them. So I highly recommend to you to apply. It changed my life and changed my projects.
That's so awesome. I love the bedroom laboratory. I think that's so cool. And yes, like whomst among us has not attended YouTube University? I know I use it all the time for learning how to do things. So resources are everywhere, as you say. You got to just put out some feelers, and often I think a lot of this stuff is readily available. Like YouTube is free, as far as I know. The library, great resource. You don't have to have a lot of extra money lying around. You can do a lot of this kind of just with the things that you already have at your disposal. That's awesome. Kendra, come talk to us and tell us a surprising or really positive force that's been helping you out, something that you found, or maybe a person, a teacher, a mentor that's helped move your innovation forward.
Yeah, for sure. I think really, well, one, Ingenious. I didn't think I went into this not knowing whether or not I would win, but I took a chance, and now I do get to expand my network. I get to meet like people like Jill, people in the Redo Hall Foundation who's really helped me, as well as just people in my school, my university. They've really supported me. I'm really grateful to be in a environment that kind of helps people and motivates each other to pursue their own innovations, pursue their own goals. So it's been really cool. I've been really fortunate, and I have Ingenious as well as my school environment to thank for that.
That's so awesome to hear. It's so nice when people do get really great support from their schools. I know that's not always the case, but when we do have a supportive school environment, that just makes all the difference. Does it inspire you to want to pay it forward, to maybe give some mentoring or some advice or help to people who are a little bit younger than you, who are coming up and want to do similar things?
That's kind of been my other dream, honestly. That's why I like to be. I wanted to go on this stream, kind of to just help other people who are maybe on the edge of doing something like this, and hopefully just do more things in my own neighborhood, my own community, to kind of push other people to pursue their own goals. And hopefully we get more innovators in the future.
That is awesome. I love that for sure. All right, Casper, let's hear it. Can you tell me about someone who's maybe been a mentor to you or an inspiration to you on your journey?
Yeah. So I reached out to a bunch of people who had like PhDs in like chemical engineering and everything. One of the names that came up was like Nader Farahi. He was someone that I ended up knowing, and he was really great. Getting to like talk about your project with someone else really does help you out a lot. And honestly, you're not alone in this. You can always reach out to other people who are much more knowledgeable with you, and usually they're happy to help out. So if you like demonstrate that you have like a passion for something and that you're looking for like really good advice, cold emailing someone or just asking someone who might know a bit more than you do is a really good method. Yeah.
Absolutely. And like, you don't ask, you don't get. And I think that something we've really seen of people who take a similar approach to you, Casper, which is to say, like, hi, I'm Casper. I'm working on this project. Do you want to help me out? That the innovation community, the STEM community, the academic community is incredibly receptive and like very much like willing to help out and give some advice or lend a hand or even just point you in the right direction. That's
Yeah,
so
it's
cool. I
really,
love that.
yeah.
And as Kendra was saying, like it kind of inspires you to want to help other people too. Do you feel that way? Do you feel like you could have some advice to give to younger people or some mentorship or something to
Yeah.
inspire people?
For sure. I think whenever I like talk about my project or everything, everyone's like, "Whoa, wow, this is like super high tech," but it never like started out that way. A
Yeah.
lot of the times, your project, it like you kind of start from like a really general thing, and then like you work your way up and work where you're down. Like everything starts somewhere, right? So
Yeah.
even if your project doesn't seem like super like technically like really advanced, just know that it doesn't have to be. You can kind of like work your way up from there, and it's a learning process.
Absolutely. And like we were saying, like sometimes the idea that you have at the beginning and the end result
Oh,
are
yeah,
completely different.
completely different. Yeah,
And it's all about that kind of zigzag journey that you're on that you never really know where you're going to end up. But that's like, I think the fun part of it. That's great. Thank you so much, Casper. So again, please send us in your questions if you have any, or even if you just like to hear more about Kendra and Casper and Yuri. I could talk to these guys all day long about what it is that they're doing. It's just so inspiring and so fun. So as we were saying before, when you're sending in your application, we have, of course, the static application that is written in, and or you can send in a video application. Does not need to be anything fancy, but we do like to, have an opportunity to see how excited you are, how passionate you are about these great solutions that you're coming up with for community problems. IngeniousPlus.ca has all of the information that you will need to apply and all of the sort of different stipulations. Ingenious Plus is for young Canadians ages 14 to 18 who are just looking to innovate for good and make the world a better place. We have like the brains of this whole operation who is here with us today. I'm not sure if he wants to come on camera. So I'll give him just a little heads up. Albert is in the chat. So if you have any technical questions about the rules or about sort of like the nitty gritty, please feel free to type those in as well. And Albert will be able to help you with all of the sort of technical aspects and the rules of applying to Ingenious Plus. That's right. So Asha has sent in a question. Thank you so much, Asha. So what changes or improvements are typically considered in the application process when reapplying to a similar program? Were there any specific resources, opportunities, or networks provided by Ingenious Plus that had a lasting impact on participants' work? Great question. I love this question. So Albert is going to look into the first part of that question. As I said, he's kind of the brains of the operation. But luckily, I'm here to bring in the other brains, Yuri and Kendra and Casper. So the question is, are there specific resources, opportunities, or networks that you got from Ingenious Plus that have had an impact on your work? Yuri, do you want to start?
So, yeah, I mean, as I said before, Casper here is someone that I often go to if I have any problems with patents or have any questions. He's also on a similar path. So, with Ingenious, you get this community, really, this like-minded, tight-knit community where people are similar to you. They're trying to do great things. They're very ambitious, and it's been great. I've been able to work with people from different sectors, really. Casper and me, we have different projects, but yet we can come together and work on something that is like-minded. So that's one part. Another thing about Ingenious is when you win, or let's say you win regionals or win nationals, you get an incredible opportunity to meet a lot of great people in person. So for me, when I won nationals, I was very lucky, and I got to go to Rideau Hall to meet the Governor General, and that was pretty neat. And I also got to see some of the winners of the senior level of Ingenious Plus, as Jill has said.
The
And it
Governor
was really
General's
great.
Innovation Awards, yeah.
Governor General's Innovation Awards, and it's a bit of a mouthful, but it was wonderful. Like, you get to see like real products, people being able to put their products on the market and help people. And to me, like 20 years or so, I hope to be there again. Yeah, it's wonderful. It's great.
We'll keep bringing you back to Rideau Hall as many times as we can.
It was wonderful.
That's awesome. Casper, can you tell us about, other than you and Yuri being in total cahoots about patents and prototypes, about something that's come out of Ingenious Plus for you?
I ended up looking into like a startup accelerator. I believe it's called League of Innovators, and I was recommended that from getting to like talk to people at Ingenious.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are doing anything entrepreneurial, that is a great resource and network to look into.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, overall, just like having a really big network across Canada has been great.
Yeah. And League of Innovators is great. I think it was Kendra that was saying before, you spend a lot of time thinking about sort of the technical implications of your project, but then the business side of taking it to market and all of that stuff, that's where something like League of Innovators can really help, of sort of rounding out your knowledge about, okay, I have this great thing. How do I share it with people, or how do I, get it out there into the world? So yeah, we're really happy to work with League of Innovators and to connect them. And they are always, every time we finish a session with Ingenious Plus winners and League of Innovators, they're like, wow, these guys are like really good. And so we feel very proud. Thanks, Casper. Kendra?
Yes, hello.
Can you tell us about your outcomes from Ingenious Plus, something that's come out of the relationship?
For sure. I think similar to Yuri and Casper, I got to meet some of these other young innovators that I didn't think I would meet because they're all over Canada. Mm-hmm. And I'm just from Ontario, so that was really cool, as well as Melissa Allen, which is League of Innovators. It was very exciting meeting her in person and hearing her story, because she is very much an inspiration from how she became an innovator and how she made League of Innovators. Yes. Yeah. But yeah, it's been a really cool journey, and I'm still in contact with Ingenious because they're helping with IPs and connecting with even more professionals in the field. So I'm very excited about where this journey is going to take me.
That's awesome. Yeah. Once we get our claws into you, we're not letting go, unfortunately. Once you guys are in, you're like all the way in. Once you're in the Ingenious Plus kind of club, yeah, it's like the opposite here. we always talk about the Ingenious Plus Club. It is just a constant back and forth conversation. So yes, and as Albert's saying, Melissa will be back in Ottawa in May to mentor the Ingenious Plus national winners, which is so exciting. And Melissa is just one example. We had one of our Governor General's Innovation Awards, or because it is such a mouthful, as Yuri says, we just say GGIA. So the GGIA laureates of last year, we had one of them come and speak to us, Christian Bagg, who is an incredible innovator. He is a great outdoorsman, skier, hiker extraordinaire, and he does it all with the use of a wheelchair. And he innovated an incredible hiking, skiing, biking wheelchair that is for all lovers of the great outdoors, and is changing lives and communities and the country through his innovation. So it was really great to have him speak to our Ingenious Plus cohort, and had lots of really great messages, not only about the work that he's doing, but kind of how he's building his company. He uses a lot of young people to work at his company, to intern in the summer between school sessions, to really keep that kind of culture of innovation going, and to always be extending your hand to the people who are a little bit behind you to bring them with you. So we love the kind of inclusive nature of the innovation ecosystem as well. And Christian and Melissa as well, such a great example of that, is that innovation kind of begets innovation. The more innovation there is, the more innovation there is. And Christian will also be back for the finalists and winners. So if you get an opportunity to chat with them, the sky is the limit, because they're just so generous and smart, and really know their way around the tech space, the entrepreneurial space, the development space. So these are all really great relationships that have been able to flourish from Ingenious Plus, from the GGIAs, from the Rito Hall Foundation. It just kind of ripples outward and outward and outward. Okay, so I think that I would love to encourage you again, send in any questions that you have, no question too big or too small. And I'm going to bring Yuri and Casper and Kendra in one more time. And if I can ask you to give just sort of like your elevator pitch, words of advice, like pep talk, motivational speech to anybody who is sort of on the brink of applying for Ingenious Plus, and who now, actually, I'm allowed to say this, I think, unless Albert starts shaking his head vigorously, we have an extension, people. We have a deadline extension, which is very exciting. So now you are able to apply for the Ingenious Plus Award up until March 10th, 2025. So we have an additional 2 weeks. I think you could pull together an application in 2 weeks. Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a little fire under you now, and you can pull something together in 2 weeks. I think that would be pretty doable. So even if you're just joining us now, even if you're just kind of learning about Ingenious Plus and what it is, the great news is we've given you the gift of 2 extra weeks to get it all together. So, okay, I'm going to start with Yuri, and then I'm going to go to Casper, and then I'm going to go to Kendra. So Yuri, I'm Jill. I'm not really sure about applying to Ingenious Plus. I'm like maybe a little nervous, maybe a little bit shy, maybe a little bit not fully realized in my innovation journey yet. What do you think I should do?
Jill, no idea is too big or too small. I say you do it. You'll never regret it. I don't regret it. Even if I failed, I would not regret it. It was an incredible experience to go through the application process. So just do it.
Even if I failed, I would not regret it. That is that is amazing. Thank you so much, Yuri. I'm getting a little warmer. I think I'm getting closer to wanting to apply. I'm going to see what Casper has to say. What do you think, Casper?
Jill, the application process, it doesn't take that long, but it also lets you look at your project through a different lens. Getting to like see and like answer questions of what do you want to do with this project in the future, or like what kind of like describe your project. Not even if you don't even like end up doing well, you still get to kind of like look back and receive feedback on like, what does my project kind of look like? How would I explain it to someone else who doesn't really know it? So I'd recommend just go through the application. It doesn't take that long. And just like Yuri said, you won't regret it. It's honestly a great experience.
Okay, I'm getting pretty close here. I think I'm right on the edge of applying. I need just like one last push, one last nudge. Kendra, what do you got for me?
Okay. Well, hi Jill. I'm really glad you're showing interest, and I know that can be a little nerve-wracking, a little scary, but you know what? Though there's absolutely no reason you can't do this, because you can just try it out. The worst thing that can happen is maybe you won't get anything, but you will learn so much about yourself, about your innovation, about you as an innovator. And hey, like Casper says, it gives you a better lens, like a different lens of looking at things. So just take a chance. I promise you it's worth it, and I do hope you apply.
Okay, I'll do it. Oh gosh. Thank you guys. You're such great motivators, such great motivational speakers, and all of the work that you're doing is just so inspiring. And we're so lucky to have you in our Innovation Plus club that you're never allowed to leave. And yeah, thank you so much for all of the advice that you've given. We're going to be able to share this video around with anyone else who's looking to apply. And if we get more questions that come in either through YouTube or through the Ingenious Plus website, we will be sure to forward those to you so that you can dole out some more very inspiring and informative advice to all of our future innovators. Guys, thank you so much. Enjoy your weekend, whether in the lab or shoveling snow outside. It's probably one of those two for me. So thank you so much, and we'll see you again soon. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yay.